Hey guys, so today I'm going to be reviewing the 5th episode of The Legend of Korra. Now I know this is really late, but it's better late than never. The reason it's late is because I didn't really find any time during, the weekend in the week that the 5th episode came out. Because, I've been busy with school and projects, and this weekend I was in Disney and I forgot to bring my laptop and I couldn't make any videos. So, I'm making it up to you guys now. So, here we go. This episode was 80% romance and 20% action in my perspective because, it was just, yeah. But those odds are pretty good in my favor because I enjoy romance and books, TV shows, everything. Because I believe if TV shows, movies, books, or anything does not have romance, honestly, I probably will just turn it off or just close the book or stuff like that. So it starts off, they are in the gym and they're fighting, and Mako makes it a point to say, I'm glad you're back, Korra, and blah, blah, blah. And then they get into the best team huddle ever. Bolin looks at Korra with this lovey-dovey look. Then Korra looks at Mako with a lovey-dovey look. And then Mako's like, what the heck just happened? And then Asami shows up and they pulled an Aang and Katara. Because if you've read The Promise Part 1, then you know what I'm talking about. They pulled an Aang and Katara and started calling each other sweetie, rubbing their noses together. And I did exactly what Korra did. I was like, no, just don't do that again. So then, they said they had to go, they had a lunch date, so then they left, and then, Bolin was talking all this crap about being alone, which I thought was kind of funny. And then she leaves. Next scene, they're in their apartment and they're discussing, Korra being a girlfriend and all. And Mako says, you know what, I think she's great. See, that, at that point, you know that when he says, I don't like you, Korra, like in the middle, you know he's lying. Because he just said, wow, she's great, but I think it makes more sense for me to go with Asami, but you know he's lying in the middle of the episode. So that's already, a point to make that, yeah. And then he tells Bolin that it's not a good idea to date a teammate, especially during the finals, and I agreed with this because it can interfere with, the actions and crap. So then the next scene with Korra, Ikki, and Jinora, I really enjoyed the scene because, with Ikki's thing about a magical potion of rainbows and sunsets and stuff like that. I thought that was kind of funny. And then Korra receives some some wisdom from the pregnant Pema, saying, look, just tell him how you feel and steal them away from that person. And in this case, she would be stealing Mako from Asami. And it's not that I don't like Asami, it's just that, I favor Korra over Asami. But, deep down inside, I know all of you are like, look, Asami is a damn chi blocker or something. She has something to do with Amon, and she's probably going to turn on Mako and just block his chi, and then Amon's going to take his bending away, blah, blah, blah. But I know, all of you are like, look, Asami's too perfect. She's evil in some way. So, yeah. And then after the next scene, which is, this really big, quick match against the Rabaroos, who are a really bad team, and I'm like, how the heck did they even get into the finals? But the Firefighters just practically, dominate them like a boss. And then the next scene is where they're on, the balcony / locker room place, and this is the part where, she confesses that, she likes Mako a lot, but then, she gets the big rejection stamp on her forehead, and then that's the part where I was saying, look, you all know, look, he likes her. He said it a couple of scenes ago, so, yeah. But then Bolin goes ahead and asks Korra out, like totally ignoring what Mako had said about dating teammates. And then she says yes. And I love how they showed Mako's face while Bolin was asking her out. It looked as if Mako was kind of upset and jealous at the same time. So I really liked that part because I was like, look, buddy, you missed it. You missed the hell out of your chance. So, yep. And then it skips like to commercial, and the next scene, it shows Bolin and Korra. They're like this little noodle shop, and in this scene we meet Tano of the Wolf Bats. Now, at first, I thought this guy was really, really, really homosexual, and he just surrounds himself with girls because he's uncomfortable with his sexuality. But then he asked Korra for private lessons, and that all dropped out. Honestly, I thought that joke was kind of adult, the little private lessons joke, but it's Nickelodeon. What are you gonna do, right? I actually want them to continue with those jokes because I like them. And anyways, she calls Naga, she busts her head and just makes Tano pee his pants, and then he does that little hand gesture and they all walk away like little cowards. But of course, if you hit another team that is going against you in the finals, you're immediately disqualified. So, Korra made him pee his pants without even having to lay a finger on him anyways. The next scene is where Korra, she shows up at the front of the arena and is confronted by Mako. He's looking out for his little brother. He doesn't want his heart to get broken, but honestly, if Mako would have just told Korra that he liked her too when she had told him she liked him, it's his fault that his brother got his heart broken. Honestly, that is my opinion. It is all his fault. Because they have another match, and Bolin, he dominates because Korra and Mako, they're just not in sync. They lose the couple of rounds, and then they do a tiebreaker. They win the coin toss, and then they choose Earth, and Bolin beats the other guy. So it's like Bolin to the rescue. And then the next scene, he confronts her about, saying that he likes her too, and he's really confused and blah, blah, blah. And then she kisses him, and this is the big part that's like all over DeviantArt, Facebook, Tumblr, everywhere. And then it shows Bolin, and I know this is going to sound mean, but he's a really ugly crier. I mean, you know how people, they cry and they have like these faces? Yeah, he's a really ugly crier. But at the same time, we all felt bad for him. But again, if Mako would have just said that he liked her too, honestly, none of this would have happened. I mean, Bolin wouldn't have asked Korra out, and Korra wouldn't have had that little argument, and, he wouldn't have got his feelings hurt if Mako would have kissed her. So, yeah. And then next scene, Mako goes looking for Bolin, and he finds him in the little noodle shop that him and Korra had a date in, and he looked drunk. I mean, they can't have alcohol intoxication on Nickelodeon, but he was intoxicated on noodles. Like they did on SpongeBob, where he was intoxicated on ice cream. He was super upset, and then he just dragged him back to the arena, and they had a match against these guys who were evenly matched. And, they just went against each other, and they dominated the Fire Fairies. Honestly, they just blew them out into the water. And I mean, honestly, VP award goes to Korra and Bolin. Honestly, because Bolin, he got hit in the shoulder by one of the earth-bending plates, right in the shoulder, and he was playing with one arm, but unfortunately, he was playing one arm for like 30 seconds, and he just blew back into the water, and then Mako got blew into the water, and then the only way they were able to win was if Korra could knock out all three, and she knocked them out like in a straight line. and they won. And then, they go back, and it shows, while Korra's going against the three opponents, it shows Mako and Bolin, and they're discussing, like, are they cool? And, they're brothers, whatever. But then they go back to the balcony, and Korra says, look, I hope we can be friends after all this crap. And, definitely, because, there's a little bit more tension, so, Asami comes in, and she's like, oh, you guys did great. And she says, wow, I've never seen a hat trick like that, Korra. And I'm like, wow. I noticed that she said hat trick, and I'm like, that's what Korra first called Mako Mr. Hat Trick. And I'm like, some nerve, man, some nerve. But I'm sure she didn't know that, blah, blah, blah. Then she thanks Asami for her father being the sponsor. And if you notice Asami's face when she says that, she looks really guilty. She looks guilty and is like, look, I know you're thankful, but I'm going to kill you because I'm working with Amon or something. So that's what I figured when she said that. And then she goes ahead and tries to heal Bolin, but before that, the wolf bats show up. The wolf bats, as in, Tano, and they go start a match. And then while Korra starts to heal Bolin, she apologizes and all that. And then they hear the bell ring, and it shows that Tano and the Wolfbats, they won. And honestly, they just started the match like 10 seconds ago, and they won. So, and then they hear the announcer go, look, they're going to need a hospital. And I'm like, oh, crap. And then that's how it ends. Honestly, on a scale from 1 to 5, I give it a 5, because it was just that good. Honestly, I think the more romance, the better it is. But, that's you guys' opinion. If you have a different one, comment on how you think the episode was, and subscribe for more, and I promise I will have the 6th episode up soon. Bye, guys.